Hey! Today I'm here with Hannah Spanner, Glamazon, aka Glamaluroo. Hannah is one of probably the most motivated people I know, and also the most confident, so I thought it would be really cool to talk to her today and pick her brain about how she remains so focused and motivated and confident. Tell us the raft of things that you do in your days, and we'll just start with that for now.
Okay. So I am an early childhood teacher, and I teach a little preschool that's set locally. So I teach there 3 to 4 days a week. And we've got 40 little darling children who are all very demanding of my attention. I also do powerlifting, so I train 3 to 4 times a week with powerlifting. I play roller derby. That takes up a lot of my time as well. And I also do plus size modelling on top of that, also in my spare time, and anything pin-up related, vintage related is definitely my scene. So I spend a lot of any of my free time doing pin-up, making pin-up clothes, practicing pin-up hair, getting involved in the pin-up scene, doing pin-up competitions, putting myself out there. Yeah, so
Busy gal.
very busy.
Okay, so you've got all these amazing hobbies and things, so tell us a bit more about your exercise.
I recently started powerlifting. One of the girls from roller derby is a powerlifter, and she's been trying to get me into powerlifting for years. They were having a novice competition. I was like, oh, I'll just give it a go. It was actually kind of good, and I was a lot stronger than I thought I was going to be. And when I joined roller derby about 5 or 6 years ago, I had very little body confidence. Didn't believe in myself at all, struggled to even feel like, that I even mattered anywhere. And so when I joined roller derby, I lost a little bit of weight. And from them I kind of got like inspired into the sport that was really accepting of any body shape. Like, it didn't matter what you looked like, roller derby will embrace you, take you in, train you up, and there is a place for you on a team. I'd struggled for years as a teenager trying to find a sport where I could fit in and I was good at. I have no hand-eye coordination at all, so I can't do anything involving balls because I just can't. No, it's not a good idea. Roller derby is like the perfect thing, and I met this amazing bunch of girls who inspired me and supported me and embraced me to do what I wanted to do. And through that journey of roller derby, is this journey that I've been on to show body love and discover that my body is something that I should be proud of and not be ashamed of. And so, through derby, it's, the way that I show my body love is through working and exercising, and everybody's different and everybody shows their body love in different ways, but I am very driven like that too. I would say I'm competitive as well, and so I'm competitive with myself. So if I can do 5 sets at 100 kilos, next week I want to be doing 5 sets at 105 kilos. Like, if I don't get enough exercise or enough time in the gym or being on my roller skates or just being out in fresh air, I get like real antsy and like, I just need to work out. Yeah.
So you've got a huge amount of confidence from seeing your progress, I guess, every time you go to the gym. And I think that's what's so awesome about weight training, is that you actually see those weights going up every week. Your progress is actually that fast. And there's not a lot of sports that you can actually gauge your progress that quickly than in with strength training.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you felt a real huge difference within your confidence just from the powerlifting?
Oh, absolutely. People often look at me and go, "Oh, she won't be able to." You can tell when people are looking at you and judging you, and I'm like, yes, I'm a curvy girl, but does not mean that I cannot lift heavy weights. And so I love that. I love being able to prove people wrong and picking up a weight, and I can currently deadlift 30 kilos more than my body weight and can squat more than my body weight. So I think that's a huge thing to show people, that just because you are curvy does not mean that you can be fit, healthy and strong. And that's a big message that I push through all my social media, is it's about being fit and active at any size. Like, you can be a smaller frame person and be unhealthy, you can be a bigger frame person and be really unhealthy. It's about being active and being responsible for your own self, and you know, putting in good nutrition into your body and looking after your body, showing your body love. Even if you're just getting out and going for a walk, at least you're not sitting at home hiding.
So what would your advice be for people who feel like they're just stuck in a rut of maybe really bad choices?
Well, I would say that would probably be me about 6 years ago. I just didn't feel good about myself, and when I went to the gym, I was scared because I thought everyone was just looking at me. I never went to the boys section of the gym where you lift weights, because I was like, you know, that's their section. It's a hard thing, and the majority of the battle is in your mind. You know, the gym is a place where anybody can come and work out. It doesn't have to be in the gym. You know, if you don't want to face people in the gym, because people have these phobias about the gym, you just get out and have a walk. My friend took me to roller derby, and from the moment I hopped on skates, because I used to play roller hockey. Yeah, that's another sport where it was just body impact pretty much. And my friend took me along, and she was like, come on, we can do it. And so I went along and had a look, and I was like, this is amazing. This is a sport that I can do. And that's what I loved about roller derby. It doesn't matter what size you are. It doesn't matter. There's a place for you in roller derby. Yeah, give roller derby a go.
Exactly, and I think what you just said there is so true. You have to find that form of exercise that you fall in love with.
Yeah.
Don't ever try and do something that you hate, because you're never going to stick with it.
You never will stick with that. Yeah. I love roller derby, and I love powerlifting to the point now where I am not a morning person at all, but I on a Thursday morning will get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and get myself to the gym so that I can get the first person to get the squat rack or the first person to get on that deadlift platform, so that I have that. So yeah, you know, there's not many things that can get me out of bed that early in the morning, so it's definitely got to be something that you're passionate about and that you really want to do.
And how does it feel once you've had that workout first thing in the morning, when you've done it, you've got dressed? How are you feeling at that point?
Great. You know, you're inspired to start the day, and you're like, I can do this. This day can come at me because I've got this.
So tell me a bit about your social media, because you're very strong in Instagram and Facebook. How has that sort of encouraged you, or maybe not been so positive?
So I started blogging for myself, just to help myself overcome some obstacles, and I was just getting so many amazing messages of support from women saying, you know, thank you so much for sharing that, you know, I struggle with that too, and I want to learn to overcome that. And so I thought, okay, cool. So I started putting pictures on Instagram, on Facebook, and then I got picked up by a few companies through like my modelling. But a big thing was when the Daily Mail in the UK picked me up for on my Instagram, all about my Instagram, because it's all about body positivity and learning to love yourself and embrace yourself. And so they did this amazing article all about me and how I'm really pushing for, you know, just all women. It doesn't matter whether you're curvy or skinny, you know, it doesn't matter what body type you are. It's learning to embrace yourself for who you are, because as women we're so judgmental on ourselves and on other women. So they had heard about a photo that I had put online of myself in a bikini on the beach and posted it on social media. Now I would have never ever, like 4 or 5 years ago, doesn't even own a bikini, let alone put a bikini on and go to the beach. Like, I was so body conscious that I wouldn't even think about doing that. I put this photo online nervously, and it just went viral. Like, people were sharing it everywhere. It got shared. I had people in the UK contacting me about it, people in Australia, people in America. It just went absolutely viral, because the message simply was that, why can't I wear a bikini at the beach? You know, why don't I have that confidence? And after that, I was a little bit nervous about that article going out, because I knew I was going to get some backlash from it, because you always have those people on the internet who are writing, you know, sitting behind a keyboard, writing out those really horrible messages. One of them was like, you're fat and obese and you're not curvy, you're just a fat girl in a bikini on the beach. How is that promoting body positivity? You're not a body positive role model. You are just promoting obesity as being okay. And things like that used to get to me, but I have this really amazing support system that just helps me. you know, I ring up my friends and say, hey, what's going on? And, you know, I have a little moment and have a little cry, and then they, you know, pick me up and they remind me why I do it. Because if I can just help one woman, just one person, not even a woman, anybody, just one person, you know, battle some of the body images that they have about themselves, that they can overcome that. That's what I aim to do, you know. And so there is so much, I get so much hate mail and so much just abusive messages, but in the midst of that I find those messages of real pure gems of people. It's about helping people and embracing people. I don't normally respond to backlash on social media. That's kind of my no-go zone, but one particular comment was just racked me up on all the wrong ways, where he attacked me personally and attacked my morals. I was like, no, I will not stand for this, because I'm the sort of person, I'm all good until you back me into a corner, and then I will let you have it. And I was like, so do you go to the gym? And he was like, yeah, I do. And I was like, cool, how much do you squat? And he was like, well, I squat 100 kilos. And I was like, well, I can squat 125. So that's what I'm real passionate about, is just promoting to people, you know, that we need to stop the hate between each other, and you know, build each other up and show each other love, and learn to embrace yourself in your body.
What drives most people, it's what they want to look like, that they're searching for and striving for. But it's not really that at all, it's happiness.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing I find really hard, working in early childhood, I see this at like kids aged 3 and 4, looking at magazines, and I'm just like, that's not what reality looks like. Being a plus size model, I have in my contracts that you take me as I am. You can Photoshop blemishes and light glares and stuff like that, but you cannot Photoshop my body to make it smaller.
Wow.
So that is a really big thing. Now that has lost me contracts, but that has also gained me contracts, because I don't believe in that being okay, because that is not what reality is like. And I want to show women, children, anybody, you know, this is who I am. If you see me on the street, I want to be looking like what I was in that magazine, because that's reality. Yeah.
I actually am surprised to hear that, because I always thought with plus size or queen size that they didn't Photoshop your body to look different. Sure, yes, like you said, skin, hair maybe, but surely as a plus size model you'd expect them to keep your body as it is, because you are plus size.
Yeah. No, they do.
But they do.
They do.
Nothing's real.
No. You know, even if it's like, oh, we'll just lightly take out that little bit of cellulite and you know, we'll just tuck that in just a tiny little bit. Because I do a lot of pin-up vintage, a lot of that style was, you know, those waist clenches and those undergarments and stuff like that. That's cool, because some people really like that. But I refuse to squeeze myself into things that are going to make me look smaller or flatter or show my curves more, because this is personally, I don't feel like that's really being true to myself.
I remember talking to some boys, and they were all like, yeah, I love the curves, I love girl with curves. And then they saw an image of a girl who had a belly, and they went, oh, that's gross. And I said, well, she's got curves. And they're like, yeah, but she's got a gut. And so that proved to me that guys, yeah, they say they want the big bum and the big boobies, but they also want the tiny little waist.
Yeah.
They want that hourglass, and that's not realistic either.
No, it's not. Definitely not. Like, I mean, I've got the big booty and the big boobs. My waist is there, but I've also got a tummy, you know. And it's funny, because as women, there's always one part of your body that you really, really dislike. And for myself, it's my stomach. You know, because I've had like surgeries and stuff like that, and so I've got all these scars on my stomach, and so that's a constant reminder, you know. But then I've had to work real hard and embrace that about myself, and that was why it was so hard to put that photo on the internet, because I felt like I was exposing every flaw, every single thing about me to the world, you know. But nobody else picked up on that. You can take me as I am. That's cool. If you don't like it, that's cool. Move on. There's other people that will.
I think also people will judge you purely if you put yourself out in social media or video. People will judge you the way you look on camera, which is not always a realistic portrayal of what you look like in real life. Let's face it, how many times have you had a photo taken of yourself and you think, geez, I'm not that big, but you look freaking huge in the photo, and so you're up against that as well,
all the
looking
time.
even bigger on camera.
Yeah. Oh, I actually, so funny you should say that, Miss Pinup last year, there's 2 photos. Like, I was so proud, like, getting Miss Publicity, and I felt like that was one step forward for curvy girls, and being like, you know what, if Miss Glamour LaRue can put herself out there, why can't I? And lots of people responded to me and said that to me, but oh man, there's one photo and I cringe every time I look at it. Just the angle is all wrong, and I actually look like I'm pregnant. Like, I look pregnant, and I'm like, that's not reality. And I get it a lot. Photos get taken, you know, and it's like, do I really look like that? No.
A lot of young girls don't understand that the models and actresses you see in film, if you met them in real life, they are tiny. They are so tiny, and a lot of them are naturally tiny.
Yeah.
But a lot of them aren't, and that's the really sad truth of the film and TV industry, is that the camera adds pounds, and
It really does.
what you're seeing again is a really untrue portrayal of what someone actually really looks like. And that's never a good thing, is it?
No. My goal would be to be the first New Zealand plus size model to be signed to a major modelling organisation. If people may not know, but Tess Holliday was the first plus size model in the world to be signed to an agency, which is a massive deal for plus size. And so I'd like to be the first New Zealander to be signed. You know, I'm getting a lot of international exposure as it is, so I feel it's an achievable goal, and I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing and pushing and trying to break those norms and until I get to my goal.
And as Hannah says, make those goals.
Yeah.
Without a goal, you have no map.
If you see somebody and you're like, if they can do it, I can do it. And like, just leaving you with one little quote that I always put on all my Miss Glamour LaRue pages is that you're truly beautiful and you're worthy of your heart's desires. So you just need to remember that and hold on to that.
And I will put all Hannah's links to her pages if you want to go check them out. Check out the links below.